Hello, my book-loving friends, and welcome back to a Christmassy story time with Mary. And I'm sure you're wondering, Christmassy? But it's only June. That is right, book lovers, because today we're going to be reading a Christmassy book in the middle of the year, because the author of the book that we're going to read today has decided to celebrate Christmas in July. And I know that we're only in June, but because we are so lucky, we have got a sneak preview of a book that hasn't even been released yet. It's going to be released in July with a whole week-long Christmas celebration. But book lovers, before we get to that, I hope you enjoy Storytime with Mary. And if you are, don't you forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our videos so that we can read together all the time. Okay, book lovers, I'm going to tell you all about our Christmassy book. I'm so excited. You know I love Christmas, don't you? Today, we're going to be reading a book called The Holly Day After. It's written by Danielle Marietta and is illustrated by Masha Klott. And I know that you don't have The Holiday After at home because it hasn't even been released yet. So, book lovers, because this is about after Christmas, I guess, I'm going to tell you a fun fact about Boxing Day. So Boxing Day traditionally falls on the 26th of December, which is the day after Christmas. But have you ever wondered why Boxing Day actually exists or why it's even called Boxing Day? I'm going to tell you a fun fact about Boxing Day. So Boxing Day is actually called Boxing Day because it was the day that families opened the box for the poor. And I bet you're wondering, what's the box for the poor? So in every church in England back in the day, way back in the day, they all had an alms box, which was where people placed money for the poor. And that box was opened on the 26th of December and the contents were distributed to the poor of the parish. And the tradition still continues today, did you know? Many of us give small tokens to local workers. Kids also collect things in boxes to be given to the poor. So book lovers, if you've ever wondered what Boxing Day really means, there you have it. It's when we collected gift boxes and gave it to the poor. Okay, book lovers, let's get cracking and let's see what happens in the holiday after. Don't you just love Christmas? And to all a good night. They especially like it when I say that last little bit. Santa leaned in with a sparkle in his eye as he smiled. And just like that, Christmas was over. All the presents had been delivered, the milk and cookies were sampled, and the sun was rising behind them. With the flick of a wrist, the bells jingled and the reindeer sped on toward the horizon, towing the sleigh behind them. As they arrived home, Nick leaned in for a hug. Thanks, Uncle Chris. See you in the morning. Christmas is fun, but my favourite tradition is the Holly Day After. Yes, mine too, his Uncle Chris, or Santa, as some call him, agreed. You were a great help as always. Get some rest and I'll see you soon. Nick hopped off the sleigh and gathered the reindeer. He walked them back to the lodge and got them into their stalls. Once each sleepy reindeer was tucked in under the hay, Nick climbed up the ladder to his family's loft, overlooking where their livestock lay. Good night, his twin sisters Joy and Grace called out when they heard him climbing into bed. Night, his big brother Noel mumbled as he rolled back to sleep. And to all a good night, Nick replied with a smirk. Giggles echoed in the lodge that late Christmas night. Hush, said their father Fred. Holiday After is almost here. And as tradition goes, we start bright and early. A calming silence fell over the lodge and all of the North Pole. As the sun rose and the fresh snow glistened, The feeling of joy filled the air. Nick, along with his brother and sisters, ran into the kitchen. Let the holiday pancake tower competition begin. The boys had won the past 2 years, but they knew that their sisters were ready and had been planning out their pancakes for months. The brothers kept their workstation clean and organized, carefully laying out their blueprints and prepping their supplies. Joy and Grace, not so much so. They were already flipping their pancakes. Bowls, pans, cracking eggshells, and clouds of flour floated everywhere. But the smell of tradition blossomed, and the pancake creations were growing. Noel was stacking and Nick was shaping the pancakes into a giant holiday after tree. Holly berries sprinkled throughout like ornaments on a Christmas tree. But the twins, the twins, they had created a full replica of the North Pole city centre. They beamed as they took a step back to see what they had done. Well, clearly they won, Noel announced. Better luck next year, the girls snickered back. Ho, 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 merry holiday after, voices called from the front door. The kids rushed out of the kitchen, quickly scattering their aprons onto the floor, and all their family and friends had come to celebrate. Merry holiday after! Nick and his family all cheered back. While the younger kids played and ran everywhere, the teenagers were busy being too cool to be silly. The grown-ups were all talking in their own little world. Nick's father and uncle were flipping the family crest to see who would be Santa next year. What do they mean, who would be Santa next year? This is shocking. Nick loved this time with everyone together. The rest of the year is so busy with work, but this is always one day he can count on. As they all gathered around the beautiful tables, love and smiling faces surrounded them. Pancakes covered in powdered sugar and warm maple syrup with extra chocolatey hot cocoa to wash it down. These were all part of the traditions that he loved. With a full belly, Nick sat back and listened while others shared stories of favourite holiday after memories. And then it was time. One by one, they gathered their boots, coats and hats and took the party out back. Nick and his siblings handed out tree sprouts to all. Everyone marched out to the fields behind the lodge and picked a place to plant their favourite holiday after tree. While they did so, they all sang. I'm not going to try and sing, well I will. Oh, the joy you have to give, in our hearts is where you live. Fill the skies with peace and love, a new star shines above. Quiet hums mimicking the tune continued until every last tree was planted. This is what the day was all about. Time spent together and time giving back. Standing outside that chilly night, everyone looked out to the rolling hills of holiday after trees. Some were no bigger than Nick, but others touched the clouds. The traditions we start today can live on forever, Uncle Chris whispered. It's up to each of us to keep them going. Sometimes we might not all be together, but when you look out over these hills, you will be reminded of those past times together. And with that, the day was done. Nick, Noel, Joy and Grace squeezed everyone extra tight as they left. See you at school, the twins shouted to their classmates. See you in the workshop, Noel said to his friends. Uncle Chris lifted up Nick onto his shoulders. He had the same sparkle in his eyes that he had the night before. While waving goodbye to their friends and family, they said in unison, and to all a good night. A perfect end to a perfect holiday after. What a lovely, special book that was. It made me all warm inside. The message was so important. Just to spend time with your family and friends is so important. And the message of giving back on Boxing Day is the same message that I gave to you earlier about the meaning and the traditions of Boxing Day and giving to the poor. Okay, book lovers, I really hope you enjoyed our little glimpse of Christmas in the middle of the year. I know that I really loved it and it was fun. And if you loved that book as much as we did, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our videos so that we can read together again next time. And because this book hasn't been released yet, I will put a little link below so that you can know where you can get this book, because it's such an awesome book. Okay, book lovers, I'll see you again next time. Bye.